Well, here's the deal.
How many ways? I've exhausted my creativity and now I can fail.
You know Agent Baker over there? He's kind of an adult, but he's actually an idiot.
Keep it from the public. Eliminate any unnatural threats.
And Baker's just standing there for like 10 seconds in the silent, and the fog comes back in and says, "This is so fucking cool."
What's up? What's up? Welcome to Season 2 of Law and Disorders. I'm Nolan, your handler. How are my agents doing today?
Good. Glad to be here.
Any day above ground is a good day.
Since it's a new season, let's give everyone a quick refresher of who you are and who your agent is. So, Lee, why don't you go first?
I'm playing as Agent Baker, a recidivist criminal that has been pressed into service by Delta Green after he broke into a Delta Green agent's house and found some unnatural things in the agent's safe. He was caught in the act and pressed into service. And since then, he has been given a new lease on life with a new identity, his parole officer now behind him.
Right. And from last season, he seemed to acquire something else that his team doesn't know about. What is?
Oh, yeah. He ended up the last season by dismissing the creature that had been haunting Glen Ridge by taking control of it via an amulet that he now keeps with him. He also has a totemic compulsion surrounding that amulet as well, so it's his precious.
Bob, who are you, and who are you playing?
So I am Detective Jimmy McNulty. He's an Arkham homicide cop, has been on the job for about 8 years. He's a pretty severe alcoholic and is a limited psychic, and his mouth tends to get him into trouble. Last season, he got mauled pretty good and injured in the penultimate episode and is now slurping down eggs at a diner with a dude in a bolo tie.
Smiley, what about you? Or
yeah.
Paul, what about you?
Oh, all good. Yeah, I'm playing the agent formerly known as Derek Smiley. No, he's still, Derek Smiley. So he's an affable weatherman who's working for Fox 2 News Detroit. He, on the last mission, near-death experience, almost dying after trying to hawk some watches to a underage high schooler, but he survived through it. But more importantly, through that experience, he experienced something that reinvigorated his drive to try to find the answers for his missing sister who disappeared years ago. So, he's been on that trail for a long time, but after experiencing that, he's just even more driven forward.
All right. So by the time this season hits, by the time it starts streaming, the holidays should be all wrapped up. And I was wondering, I don't have any crazy holiday stories because I'm usually working constantly through the holidays. Anybody have any crazy quick holiday stories they want to share?
The holiday stories.
If we can totally cut this. I just figured I'd bring something up.
For the longest time, I was like you. I was working every holiday. I'm trying to think if there were any good trauma calls or anything. Oh, I almost set myself on fire making a deep fried turkey one year. That was fun. You want to talk? It was I had to go to work and I volunteered to bring a deep fried turkey, and Gary came over and we decided to do this in my parents' driveway. I don't know. I was back at home. I don't know how old I was at the time, but so I had my turnout gear on, my firefighter gear, and we had forgotten to really pat the turkey down dry, as well as it could be. And we mixed 2 different types of fryer oil. Don't do that. So I'm lowering this thing on a clothes hanger and trying to lower it in bit by bit. And this pot of boiling hellfire is just bubbling over the top. The driveway's on fire. And Gary goes, dude, you gotta abort. I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Buy $40 worth of McChickens? This is happening whether we want it or not. And eventually I got it in. We were able to put the driveway out. And I'll tell you what, that was the best turkey I have ever had, because that shit was cooked with pure pants-pissing terror. And I will stand by that for as long as I live. Ask Gary, too. He'll confirm.
Yeah, I bet.
That's wild. We had deep fried turkey one time because my dad had a hookup at Burger King, so we got all the grease and everything. And you're right, though. Those are really tasty.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, well, let's do this. So, on last season, you guys were all called to Glen Ridge, Long Island, to help the Glen Ridge PD out with a potential serial killer who was just decimating its victims. Where'd my music go? Decimating its victims. And through some investigation, you found out that a 16-year-old boy named Thomas Dangler got an amulet from his grandpa, who was an archaeologist. And while he slept, if he had any negative feelings about anybody, it would summon this creature, the IAPA, to come and pretty much take care of them. And he had no idea this was happening. So eventually you found out about the amulet when you went and visited the Danglers, and he got super upset, unintentionally summoned this IAPA, which led to a fight in the woods where Agent Baker got a hold of this amulet and summoned the IAPA away. In doing that, you guys, Agent Baker killed Thomas Dangler, the 16-year-old boy, killed his parents, and you guys as a whole covered it up, blaming it on the father, Mark Dangler, saying that he was testing some equipment for his job at Northrop Grumman. You took care of the case, covered it up pretty well, and talked to your handler, Walker, who asked to meet you guys at a diner. And he told you that he was going rogue and leaving the program, and he wanted you all to join him. Agent Steinmetz decided to stick with the program, not because of their beliefs, but because he wanted to delve deeper onto what they were up to. But you three decided to stick with Walker. In return, Agent Walker gave Agent Baker a new identity, and to keep you guys in the loop and be completely transparent with everything that was going on from here on out. So we'll pick up season 2 with right after that meeting at the diner. Agent Baker, as he leaves the diner after the debrief with Walker. Let me rephrase that. So Agent Baker is currently leaving the diner after the debrief with Walker, and he's got a folder with his new identity in hand. What does he do?
Alrighty. Baker is standing on the side of the street, looking through the envelope of his new identity given to him by his handler, Walker. He gives a sly grin, his mind running wild with what he can do with his parole officer now behind him in a new life. He starts just 2 blocks from 45th and Green Street by breaking into and hot wiring a gray 2001 Honda Civic, knowing that this ride is one of the more common cars on the road, that which can handle surprisingly well in a pinch while blending in almost anywhere. He sits in the driver's seat and crosses the correct wires under the steering column, and the dead engine comes to life. The radio starts to play a song called Shortchange Hero by a band called The Heavy from a CD left by the vehicle's now previous owner. Baker lights a cigarette with his Zippo, inhales deeply, and cracks the driver's side window to blow out the acrid cloud, looking around the parking lot to see if anyone is around or noticed him. Satisfied, he pauses for a moment, cigarette hanging from his stubble-clad lip, to reach into his pants and withdraws the ancient Peruvian amulet. He takes another draw of the cig with a hand still caked with a few flecks of dried blood from where it trickled down his arm, from where the flesh of his back was torn open by the claws of an unnatural monster, a monster he now controls. He loosens his tie, puts the brown leather cord of the amulet around his neck, and tucks the artifact under his shirt right as the song's intro ends and the band kicks in. The camera pans to the Civic pulling out of the parking lot smoothly and heading towards a freeway, towards the setting sun. The song continues to play in the background as the next scenes are comprised of a montage of Baker breaking into various buildings, meeting with shady figures in dark places conducting illicit deals, cleaning firearms, working out and running, getting ready for what's to come. Another scene where he's playing pool and drinking with his low-life friend Jordy and one of his girlfriends, Lisa. The song is drawing to a close and begins to fade out as he startles awake in a messy bedroom next to an attractive woman with black hair. He lurches out of bed due to a loud knock on the door, checking at the peephole at the door and sees nothing. He opens the door, and again, no one in the hall, even though he had just heard the knock mere seconds ago. He looks down and finds a folded note that had been surreptitiously slid under the door. The scene continues as his suspicious girlfriend, Nikki, is obviously in a heated emotional argument with him as he's getting dressed in his new black suit in Nikki's trash bedroom. His home scene ends with him closing the door on her mid-scream as he's going back to what he knows best, a life of taking what he wants. He pauses outside the door and lights a cigarette in the hallway before reading his note, which says, 55 Maycomb Place, 48043, Weird Records. Ask the old man behind the counter if he has an original pressing of Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. Leave now, be at the meet by 12:32. You have airfare booked on Delta. And it's signed with a triangle and the letter W.
All right, where is Agent Baker staying? Like what city and state?
I would say that he's from Houston originally, so he's in one like the crappy, suburbs.
Okay. All right. So that's what Agent Baker's been doing over the past 8 months. Paul, what about Agent Smiley?
Yeah, so Agent Smiley heads back to Detroit. He had a couple extra days off that he didn't expect because they solved it a little bit quicker than maybe he thought. Rather than getting back to work or anything like that, he spends the time kind of obsessing over the case of his sisters. That image of Lauren Harrogate's head dropping and seeing his sister's face flash before his eyes. He goes back to all of the kind of the map with all of the strings attached to all these different people that he's been trying to plot out exactly what's happening. So he dives even more into that case, and he stays on that case as much as he can to try to figure out if anything happens. So a week goes by, which was much longer than he expected, and he just continues to obsess. Finally, he returns to work, and things go back into a new normal. But as a couple months go by, a video starts circulating of Smiley giving the speech at the police office, giving all of the details of the case and the agent. He gets pulled into the room by his mentor, Lee, who approaches him and confronts him on the fact that, what's this about? Because you're working for us. Smiley works around it and says, hey, Lee, I know, we've been working through this for years and you and I are close. I was brought in as a special agent liaison just because I'm an objective third party. Lee kind of looks at him a bit side eyes and says, well, for now we're going to let this go, but I got my eye on this. So he continues to keep working, and Lee kind of puts it under the table for the rest of the coworkers that might have been looking at it. Flash forward a couple more months. It's been a really stressful day. Derek goes home, and his best friend Joe comes over to help relieve him of the stress and brings over a case of beer. Derek Smiley is not much of a drinker, so these beers very quickly go to his head. Unlike McNulty, he can't quite keep it down the same way. As they're talking, Joe approaches him and confronts him about the video that's been going around, saying, wow, that must have been a really difficult situation. Obviously that Lauren, she was the same age as, that puts Derek just into kind of a rage. All the stress has been building up and he hadn't had a chance to talk about it. So he just starts yelling at Joe, saying, what do you know? You don't understand. You don't understand the realities that are out there. You just can't fathom what I've seen. Joe, just very upset, leaves the residence and leaves Derek there with a couple extra beers that he ends up downing and goes to sleep. We flash kind of towards the end of our period here, and Derek's at work, preparing for the next set of the news, where he's going to be giving the weathercast. A flicker goes across the screen for the teleprompter that says, check the schedule again. So he pulls up the schedule, flips through the notes, and he finds a strange paper that was not there before. He knows that for sure. It says 55 Macomb Place, 48043. Weird Records. Ask the old man behind the counter if he has the original pressing of Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. Live and Dangerous. Leave now. Be at the meet by 1256. You have airfare booked on Delta.
All right. Bob, what's Agent McNulty been up to the past 8 months?
So as he leaves the diner, he starts examining kind of all the choices he's made and the direction his life is going in. He takes a couple extra days off when he gets back to Arkham to recover and heal up a little bit. Chalks it up to having a hiking accident and banging himself up while he was off on vacation. He comes back and immediately there's some friction with his partner Dana. They get assigned a case. She's having a world of difficulty trying to put the pieces together, and he winds up blowing the doors wide open on it, and he gloats about it. He's a straight up asshole about it. This pisses off their major, who summarily drums him out of homicide and puts him back in patrol in the worst neighborhood that Arkham can manage. Again, he has another kind of revelation. It's time to clean this up. I can't keep doing this. So he decides to practice being a better person, meditation, keeping centered amongst all the chaos, and decides to try and put a lid on drinking. He's going cold turkey. If he gets the crave, he suppresses it as much as he can. It's been 6 months since his last drink, but there are days he definitely struggles. He wakes up one morning getting ready for shift, or one evening getting ready for his shift. He's on nights, because of course. And as he opens his door to head to work, there is a plain piece of paper, like a legal pad, that's tucked in the address numbers of his door. It just says 55 Macomb Place, 48043, Weird Records. Ask the old man behind the counter if he has an original pressing of Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. Leave now. Be at the meet by 1248. You have airfare booked on Delta. Seeing that, he calls his shift supervisor and says, hey, I need a couple of days off. Something came up. It's an emergency. And he heads to the airport.
Okay, how do you guys kind of explain this you guys up and leaving to the people closest to you?
He doesn't even say anything. He kind of just treats Nikki is the one that now has a very low standing with him. Not a lot of respect for her, and decreasingly so after he has climaxed.
PNC.
No response given. He just goes.
Yep. Smiley, his girlfriend obviously works at the news station and everything like that. So with the heat that came from the video that was released, he's going to use that essentially as a cover story for, well, now I've been engaged with, the federal government, and they're asking me to help with another liaison mission where there's a strange weather front coming through. I'm going to go out there and check that out for them for a while. So he explains that to Lee, his supervisor and mentor, as well as his girlfriend and others in his life.
Jimmy tells his girlfriend, hey, we had a family emergency come up. Everything will be okay, but I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days.
She goes, do you need me to come with you?
No, it's okay. Something to do with my grandmother. She's out of state. It'll only be a few days, and I'll see you guys I'll see you when I get back home.
It's always I'll be gone for a few days. You sit behind. One of these days you'll let me in, Jimmy.
Make it up to you when I get back. I promise. Look at how much I've changed within these last 6 months. You haven't seen me drinking.
Haven't seen you drinking.
I have never come home smelling of liquor. I haven't had a drop. I will make it up to you when I get back. Believe me when I say this, I am changed.
She just kind of waves her hand. Do what you got to do. So the next day, you show up to Weird Records. It looks like a family-owned record shop in the heart of downtown Mount Clemens. Thousands of vinyl records line the aisles, and random pop culture memorabilia sit on dusty shelves along the walls. You all have been given an order. Baker, what do you do when you walk in?
Just make an assessment of the place and see how many staff or customers are currently in the place. Kind of trying to look like a customer when he first comes in.
Yeah, you just see an old man behind the counter doing a crossword. Place is pretty empty right now.
Sweet. Baker just approaches the front desk and be like, "Hey, good morning. I was hoping you might be able to help me find kind of a rare item. I'm looking for an original pressing of Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. That's not something you'd have, would it be?"
He goes, "A collector you are." He reaches down, grabs the vinyl, hands it to you. There's a Post-it note stuck to the back that has your initials on it. We have a private listening room in back. Why don't you head back and give it a spin? I suggest starting on the B side.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. And Baker would head back.
So you guys all do this, not together, separately. So Smiley, you get the record from the old man and you enter you head to the listening room. It's a small room, barely big enough for two. You sit down, you load the vinyl on the turntable, B-side up. Cowboy song starts to play. Just before the verse ends, the wall behind the turntable begins to slide, revealing a small conference room and your handler, Agent Cordell Walker, sitting at the head of a 6-foot table. Baker's there too. Walker's sitting there eating a Whopper from Burger King and seems to have gotten more of it on his shirt than in his mouth. He goes, "Man, I'm starving. Let me just finish this up and we'll get into it when McNulty arrives. He should be here shortly." He offers you a fry.
Smiley is a bit peckish, so he takes the fry and says, "Thanks. I was hoping I'd get to hear the next track. Cowboy song's good, but, this'll do." And he walks in.
Few minutes go by. The sliding door slides open again, and McNulty is in the doorway. He walks in. It's been 8 months since you've seen your team. How do you greet the other two, McNulty?
As he walks in and sees the rest of the cell minus Steinmetz, he just kind of breathes a sigh of relief, knowing that he's back where he belongs. He feels like he's back where he belongs, and gives everybody a nice firm handshake, standing tall, looking far better than he did 8 months ago when he showed up completely and totally wasted and shielding his eyes from the light in the dim conference room, asking for another cup of coffee.
Walker just points to the corner of the room. There's a little coffee pot there.
Good for right now, thank you.
Unless there's an issue with that, while shaking McNulty's hand, I think Smiley kind of picks up, because he's pretty perceptive, that something is a bit different about McNulty than before. Is that kind of like an alertness thing while shaking, or can I kind of just pick up the fact that
you all three of you guys went through something pretty traumatic, and you have a good sense of each other now, so you just know.
Okay, sounds good. I think Smiley would kind of say, "Hey, McNulty, you're looking more chipper than usual. Looking good, man."
I made some pretty drastic changes. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Walker says, oh my God, I forgot the term. He goes, all right, let's get to it. I'm not considered your handler anymore. I am your control officer. From here on out, you're going to refer to me as Agent Murphy. We are operating as M-Cell from here on out. Here's your cell identifiers. He hands you each a business card with your cell identifier on it. He hands one to Baker. He goes, "Baker, you will be known as Agent Merriweather from here on out. Smiley, Agent..." Oh, hold on a second.
Milford.
He goes, "Smiley, you're Agent Milford. McNulty, Agent Murdoch. As we are not with the program anymore, secrecy is essential. Tell no one your real names, anything about your personal lives, and leave no traces. Got it? Any questions?"
Got it.
Makes sense.
No questions.
All right. Now for the operation. Clyde Bowman. He was an active Delta Green agent from 1967 to 1970. and an infrequent friendly during the late 90s. He passes you. Man, it disappears when I put my mouse off of it. That's stupid. Anyway, that's Clyde. That's Clyde Bowman. Agent Murphy goes, 4 days ago, he died in his apartment of a massive heart attack. Delta Green has learned of this and has tasked any available cell to conduct a sweep of his apartment to remove any evidence of the organization. Walker seems kind of annoyed. He's like, I know, not the most exciting of tasks for your first unofficial mission, but we're all a little green now, I guess. Murphy passes you a map. Is that map still up on your screen or did it disappear?
Yeah. Well, now it's disappeared.
Okay. He goes, here's a location of Agent Bowman's residence, 34 Park Street, apartment 706. This green box is conveniently just a mile away from the apartment. Any questions so far?
Green box? What's the green box?
A green box is where it's kind of like a safe spot for Delta Green agents. Usually where we meet up to brief on operations and things.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get there in like real life.
Smiley chimes in real quick and says, it sounds like maybe are there other Delta Green agents or agencies that were brought onto the case, or are we kind of single on this one?
Just you guys. This should be a fairly simple task. He died. Bowman. He died of a heart attack. Nothing crazy about it. But there's a good chance he's got some sensitive materials in his apartment that when his family arrives to gather his things, we wouldn't want in their hands.
Gotcha. Well, you got the right team for searching places. Let me tell you that much. Do we have an ETA on family's arrival?
We're thinking they're gonna be at the apartment in about 48 hours.
Okay.
Again, make sure you remove or cover up any evidence of Delta Green's activities. We can't let word of our organization get out, especially this close to the Air National Guard. You follow? For those of you who don't know, this area right here is right next to Selfridge Air Base. So that's that. Yeah, so Agent Bowman's family are expected within 48 hours to gather their shit. Make sure everything is clean by then. Involve absolutely no one else in this operation and call me if anything unexpected arises. Meet back here in 72 hours with a report. If you find signs that Bowman violated Delta Green security, report them directly to me. Here's a cursory dossier on Bowman and a key to his apartment. I'll leave that up there for a few so you can read through it. Actually, I should probably read it. So Clyde Bowman, date of birth 3/28/1945. His family, wife Marlene, born August 20th, 1948, passed away November 2nd, 2002. He's got a daughter, Sharon, born September 12th, 1967. A son, Michael, born July 28th, 1974. His occupation, Bureau of Internal Revenue, IRS. He was with them from June 11th, 1965 to September 1st, 1999. Retired as an assistant deputy commissioner for operational support. Affiliation, active with Delta Green from 1967 to 1970, taking part in 11 operations where the details are unavailable. Numerous consultations with a specialty in taxation and property confiscations. No current association with the group. I don't know who's typing so much, but it's coming through real loud. I don't know. So after reading that dossier, is there any questions, or do you guys just kind of prepare to leave?
Baker would jokingly say, an IRS agent, and look around and say, are we the bad guys?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about it, let me read through this and
check your Discord messages if you haven't seen it already.
Okay.
Seems pretty straightforward. No questions from Baker.
2013, they were in peak form.
So, so nobody had any questions?
No. Pretty straightforward.
All right.
I guess, does anybody have a car?
He goes, Agent Murphy goes, just remember, meet back here in 72 hours. Be safe, be thorough, and keep it quiet. there's a vehicle out front for you. The apartment's not too far from here, maybe a mile or two. So the quicker you get on it, the better.
Understood.
We're on it.
Smiley takes the keys and throws them to Baker.
Okay. So
Catches a
you
myth.
you guys walk out, and outside of the place is a rusted up lime green 1987 Seat Inca.
Must have had some budget cuts.
Hey, we're not with the feds anymore, so we're on the bare budget here.
Amazing.
Actually, I got a picture of it right here.
Amazing.
Oh, that's great.
The license plate says The Deal. Inside are empty Rubbermaid totes, a pack of 3 disposable cameras, police tape, an axe, and a box of 13-gallon trash bags. The tape deck in the car plays Bad Company by the band Bad Company off the album Bad Company. You guys get in the car, start it up, start heading east to the apartment. You guys discuss anything in the car on the 5-minute ride over?
Bad Company, I love this song.
Yeah, Baker just turns it up a little.
All right.
Is the tape stuck in the tape deck like that's all it plays?
Roll me a luck roll.
That's fairly.
Do you like the song Bad Company by Bad Company on Bad Company?
I am a fan.
Okay. Yeah, it eats the tape halfway to the location.
Damn.
So you pull up in front of this apartment. Oh, I don't want to give you the one. Oh, maybe I didn't make one for it. Oh, wait, right here. You pull up to this apartment complex. Bowman's address is an inconspicuous apartment building in a declining working class neighborhood. The building is a jarring example of early 1960s design, blocky and unappealing. What do you guys do?
I guess we'll do a cursory glance, kind of see who's moving in and out of the apartment building itself.
Yeah, and maybe do a check for any kind of surveillance. Just, any parked cars with other goons, possibly not lime green cars, but maybe, black sedans or vans or something like that.
Roll me an
Lurking around
alertness.
watching the building. Success with an 8 under 53.
All right, you notice that it's mostly elderly people walking in and out of this place. Walking up to the front door, you're glancing around, and there's no security cameras. It's an old building, and you kind of discern that it's for elderly people. Not an old folks home, but just mostly elderly people that work here. You notice an old woman with a pug. She's got a pug on a leash and a bag of groceries. She's walking in, probably going up to her apartment. What do you guys do?
Smiley looks over to Baker and McNulty. Is it good to keep using the same last names, or should we switch to our M names? Just in referencing.
That's kind of up to you guys. The cell names are mostly like, when you're introducing yourselves to somebody. And you guys all know each other, so...
Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. So I look over to McNulty and Baker and say, all right, before we go in, I think one thing that might be good, there's obviously a lot of elderly people here, just a cover story. Like if someone comes and knocks on the door and talks to us, like, what are we doing in his apartment, right? So we could be like, I could be a great nephew and you're my friends and we're just taking a look around, or what's something we could use to kind of wave our hands a bit here.
So the big question is, how did we all arrive? I'm obviously not in an Arkham PD uniform. I'm guessing I'd have been plain clothes, kind of nondescript, so I don't stick out and not walking around like looking like a Fed, or a pretend Fed in this case.
Yeah, you guys are just normal clothes.
Okay. Then, yeah, I would say we say we're relatives and just kind of going through his personal effects before all of the official stuff happens, to kind of catalog it and divide it amongst the rest of the family as part, per the will.
Works. Because of the will. I can't remember what they call that phase, but basically, like, no family gets hands-on for a little while. Like, the lawyers actually handle everything and then divvy up things, and we could be taking inventory.
Smiley
Probate.
points and says, I like
Probate.
that, because if
Probate,
one of them
that's it.
actually Yeah, because if one of them has actually heard about all the family members and we don't turn up in that list, that could be a problem. So I like that a lot.
Sounds good. So do you guys head in and head to the elevator? You assume it's on the 7th floor, seeing that it's apartment 706.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So you take the elevator up to the 7th floor and head toward apartment 706. When you reach the door, you notice that same old lady who was walking her pug and the bag of groceries, struggling with the bag of groceries while she tries to enter her apartment a few doors down. She makes eye contact as she struggles to open the door.
I will offer to give her a hand getting her groceries in.
She goes, I had this voice all planned out. I got to get back into it. Thank you, sir. I've been trying to get a room on the first floor for months now, and they just can't help an old lady out. I appreciate you.
No problem, ma'am. Happy to help. Is there anything else I can help bring in for you?
No, I know most people in this building. You here visiting somebody?
We are with the attorney's office for Mr. Bauman. You know, I'm sure you heard
Mr. Clyde.
He recently passed, so we are taking inventory of his effects so we can, handle the probate process when it comes to the reading of the will for his family.
Roll me a persuade.
4. That's a success.
All right. She's like, very well. When you're finished over there, if you want to come over, I can make some coffee or tea for you. But thanks again for helping me with my groceries.
No problem, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right. What do you guys do now?
She's totally an eldritch horror, right? No.
Yeah.
Inside the grocery bag was just all raw meat.
Pug has like 4 eyes, so
yeah.
And she turns into the worm monster from In the Mouth of Madness. Remember when the old lady turns into
that picture?
That's the lady.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we'll enter the apartment.
McNulty, did you happen to get her name?
I did not.
Okay, no worries.
Trying to keep it brief.
Yeah, good call. All right, into the apartment we go. Assuming it's
Baker
open.
slips on a pair of gloves first and uses the key to open the door.
So you walk into this apartment, and the interior of Bowman's small apartment is dull and grim. Aside from the lingering smell of cigarette smoke, there's scant evidence that anyone actually lived here. So you're all standing in the living room. As you open the door, it opens up into the living room. There's a well-worn couch that faces an archaic rabbit-eared television. The digital antenna runs across the floor and ends at a thin black box hanging out of the window. On the other side of the room to the right seems to be the kitchen area. Along, also to the right, is a hallway. At the end of the hallway is what looks to be the bathroom, and another door to the right of it. To the left of the bathroom door, the hallway seems to continue. What do you guys do?
I am going to take a peek in the bathroom and try and find his medicine cabinet.
Okay.
Additionally, as Lee said earlier, gloves. Disposable nitrile gloves on.
All right. So as you're walking down the hallway to the bathroom door, the floor is kind of littered with framed photos, like upside down. The floor is littered with framed photos. They're all upside down, but the ones hanging on the wall look like photos of his children and his grandchildren. You notice on the wall like square and rectangular clean spots. You seem to think that they're where the photos that are laying on the ground used to be. You get what I'm saying?
Can I take a look at the photos on the ground?
Yeah. You pick up one of the photos, and it looks like it's Clyde Bowman with a woman that you assume is his wife.
Okay. Are they all the photos on the ground, like, with her in it?
Yeah, every photo you pick up is either a picture of Clyde and his wife, just his wife, his children and his wife.
Okay.
And then I know I'm not necessarily over there, but any of the ones on the wall, do any of them have her in it?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna jot that down in my little notebook with my little notebook and little pen.
So you're still heading towards the bathroom?
Correct.
So down the hall, there's a linen closet and a small bathroom. The bathroom is in a disturbed state. There's a broken towel rack, cracked shower door, a few fragments of a broken ceramic toothbrush holder swept into a corner. There is also a faint, or
What is it?
why don't you roll me a forensics?
Success.
You've smelled this before. It's the smell of decomposition.
Okay. Okay. So
So yeah, you assume this is where Clyde had a heart attack and died, and perhaps wasn't even found for a few days.
okay. I'm gonna keep up on the search for his medicine cabinet, whatever he was taking at the time.
All right. Roll me a search.
Success.
Nothing out of the ordinary. You know, he was old. Blood pressure medication, whatever type of, you would know more than me, Bob, whatever type of medications an elderly person would have. Nothing out of the ordinary, though.
So the big question is here, any psych medications?
Absolutely. There is a bottle of,
Antidepressants, antipsychotics.
yeah, antidepressants, antipsychotics. And you guys, you've been affiliated with the program for long enough to know what the long-term effects can do on an agent's brain. And
So he's on a boatload of stuff in order to keep him stable.
yeah,
Okay.
with that, I want to go to somebody else. Whoever wants to speak up, where are you going to look around?
I guess Baker would tell Smiley, "Hey, I'm going to go check the bedroom," and offer
Awesome.
if you want, we can check it together or split up, kind of thing. But he's starts making his way towards the bedroom.
Smiley says, "You've got the bedroom. I'm really interested in this cable by the couch, so you go to the bedroom and take care of it."
All right, so Baker walks down the hallway. When he gets to the end of the hallway, there's a door on his right and a door on his left. Which one do you go to first? Because they're closed. You don't know
Right.
which one's a bedroom or if they're both bedrooms.
Okay, checking the one to the right.
All right. So you open the door, and it looks like Clyde's bedroom. It holds a queen-size bed and a dresser on top of which rests photographs of Clyde and what you assume is his late wife, Marlene. There's high school graduation pictures of his two children, a few photos of a grandchild, and a ceramic paperweight of a child's handprint with the name Cassie, age 4, crudely painted on it.
Righty. Baker would want to conduct a real thorough search. I don't know if it's possible to use like my criminology as like or if it would just be a straight search, but he's looking for the places where people would be intentionally hiding things, like in between the mattresses, bottom, a shoebox hidden away in the closet, or underneath the bed, taped inside the bottom of a drawer in the nightstand, those kind of things, like and being extremely thorough to the point that like he's taking all the drawers completely out of the cabinetry and going through every piece of clothing, that kind of thing, like as if he's tossing the house, everything short of slicing open the mattress.
Check
Okay.
the vents too.
Good call.
I roll me a search, but give yourself a plus 20.
Okay. Off to a traditional start here with a failure, 79 over 44.
You go through the entire room. You look in the vents. You look in the closets. You look on the top shelf in the closet, between the mattresses, everywhere, and you don't notice anything off.
Yeah. Okay.
Smiley, what are you checking out?
Yeah, so when you gave the initial description, and I may have misheard it, by the couch there was kind of like a cable running towards something, right?
Yeah, so you look at that and you can tell it's just the cable to the TV that it runs to an over-the-air antenna for the TV. He doesn't have cable. So, yeah, and it runs to the window, and the antenna is mounted on the outside of the window. It doesn't look like off to you at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of some type of, like, if there was some type of communication coming in or out, but everything seems like, in terms of comms, it's just signal coming in for the TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, after checking that out, I think he's going to head to the kitchen and take a look around to see if there's anything out of place, anything kind of above the fridge, in the cupboards, things like that. Also, just in general, the ceiling, is it just like a typical apartment ceiling that's kind of, across everywhere, or is there any drop ceiling?
No, it's like plaster, and it's stained yellow. You can tell just by the smell of this place that he was a smoker.
Okay. Sounds good. But I'll do like a thorough search, checking in the cookie jar just in case there's something hidden, all that kind of stuff.
All right, so the kitchen's mostly bare, with a smattering of cans, pans, and boxes. A Sam's Club-sized box of microwave popcorn sits on the counter next to the microwave. The only human touch is a photo hanging on the refrigerator by a souvenir magnet from Traverse City and a child's drawing. So what you see on the refrigerator is this, and you can tell that's Clyde and his you assume his wife.
In that 72. Got it. I'm going to grab the photo and flip it over. Is there anything on the back?
No.
I'm going to take the photo off of the fridge for now and put it kind of on the counter just to kind of start laying things out. And then so essentially as I search through, there's nothing else really of interest in the kitchen at all that I can see.
Roll me a search.
34 over 22, failure.
Yeah, the only thing, there's on the fridge, there's another drawing, and it looks like from probably his granddaughter drew it, hanging up on the fridge. That's about it.
I'll just grab that, again, putting kind of everything together, and I'll put it over next to the photo for now.
All right, so McNulty, you're in the bathroom. What are you doing now?
So we already tossed the medicine cabinet. That's cool. Quick glance around. You already said that it was disheveled. A cursory glance around to see if anything else is out of place beyond kind of what we've already seen.
No, it's just it is
what it is.
Disheveled yeah, it's it almost looks like it really hasn't been touched since Bowman had his heart attack and died.
Okay, then I'm going to exit back into the hall, and I can see the one door open. I'm going to go in the other door.
All right. So you open the other door, and it looks like his office. There's no computer, but there are papers and files everywhere.
Okay. I am going to take my time and give it a thorough search.
All right, well, looking at the mess in this room, you can tell there's so much paperwork that it would take probably 10 or 12 hours to go
through all of it
by yourself. So, I mean, you guys can pool together and divide that by 3. What's that, 4 hours? It would take about 4 hours if you guys wanted to all do it together, or in half of that if any of your guys' accounting skills are halfway decent.
Okay, I'm gonna call out, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this room. We should probably all take a look at it for whatever we can find and just kind of take it from there.
Smiley's good with that. He heads over to help out and start organizing.
Yeah, and have we at this point covered all the other rooms besides this one? Baker asks the other team members.
Yeah, no, you guys can answer him. Yeah,
I didn't see any other rooms in the hallway. I covered the bathroom pretty well.
Yeah, and I took the kitchen. Nothing of note in there that I could find.
Okay, I'll be there in just a minute, Baker says, and help you guys with all that. He just wants to go do a real thorough, again, kind of checking in between the couch cushions, underneath the couch, pulling off Smiley's idea, maybe opening the frame pictures and seeing if there's anything written on the back of them, or if there's any like notes, tucked away or anything like that. Again, checking air vents.
All right, I'm gonna say, now that you know there's a lot of paperwork you have to go through, and you only have 48 hours to get all this done in the apartment, it's not like you guys have all the time in the world, so I'm not going to give you a bonus, but roll me a search.
All three of us?
No, just Baker.
Okay.
Success on this one, 35 under 44.
So from what I gather, you're kind of just doing another quick search of like the entire house other than the office, because the other two are already in the office.
Well, I was thinking the living room specifically, because I don't know that we did a real thorough. Yeah, but effectively, I'm just doing like a thorough, as if the FBI was there, and doing like a full sweeping clean of the house, just trying to see if there was anything else that we might have missed before digging into the paperwork, knowing that that's going to be an arduous task.
Okay, so as you're leaving the bedroom and walking down the hallway, you kind of pick up a few of the photos that are laying on the ground, and you notice there's probably about half a dozen photos on the ground, all containing his wife. You head to the living room, you look around, I'm going to say this. Before going into the living room, you head into the kitchen and see the photos and the drawing that Smiley put on the counter, and you're noticing that in a few of these photos you've been finding around the house, about half of them have this cabin in the background. As you're kind of putting that together, you go into the living room and you're looking around the living room. Roll me another search.
Failure, 91 over 44.
All right, so you don't really notice anything else out of place. With that, we'll go to the other two in the office.
Okay.
Well, actually, after that, Lee, is Agent Baker going into the office too to help out?
Yeah, absolutely. He'd go find work in the office and just grab a stack of papers and start going through them.
And just before going through all the papers, I just wanted to check, are there any other photos within the office that are of note?
No. What's everybody's accounting skills?
10.
Man. All right.
Happy to roll it, though.
Everybody roll me an accounting.
Critical success. Hey, Nolan, your camera is like off in the middle of nowhere. No, it's looking at one of the walls.
Yeah, like a windmill or something. That's pretty cool.
McNulty off the booze must be really good with numbers now. So
yeah, boy, sharp.
Hold on, give me 1 second here. All right, so you guys get through all of this stuff in like 2 hours. So you met Agent Murphy at the meet point at around 1 o'clock. The meeting started. You were there for about an hour and headed to the apartment. So that would put you at like 2 o'clock. You've been searching for probably about a half an hour, so it's like 2:30, and we're gonna say you get through all of this stuff in 2 hours, so it's 4:30. So going through all these papers reveals an official deed granted by Leelanau County, Michigan, to a home upstate that is owned by Clyde Bowman, about 4 hours away. A red flag goes up, and you think it's possible that an alternate location Agent Murphy either failed to mention or did not know about could have potentially sensitive material. The papers provide coordinates. There's not. That was notes from the last time I ran this. Yeah, so that's pretty much the only thing that triggers your brain that there could be a second location. As you guys are doing this, wrapping this room up, roll me an alertness. -20. Because you guys are everybody.
-20.
I have a success.
You
failed for me.
You got it.
So as you guys are wrapping this up, McNulty, do you kind of share this information with the other two that there could be a second location?
Absolutely.
As you're kind of showing them the documents, you hear the front door kind of creep open and slow footsteps walking in the front door.
Someone just walked in. How do we want to do this?
You guys didn't say you shut the door and locked it. You just said I don't believe so.
I was thinking about it, but then I didn't
vocalize it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna say you didn't do it. So yeah, there's definitely somebody walking in the front door. And what do you do, McNulty, since you're the only one to kind of hear it?
I let them know, and I'll go out there to see what's up.
So as you exit the office, all you see to your left is the door to the bathroom and the door to the bedroom, because the hall juts to your right. As you make it to that corner, you hear, "You guys have been in here for a long time. What's going on in here?" And you can tell it's the old woman.
Okay. There's just a lot of stuff in here that we have to go through and catalog, ma'am. He had a lot of possessions, family documents that we're just trying to get in order for his relatives.
She goes, I'm just waiting for whoever's typing to stop typing. It's so loud.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. That's okay.
I'm going on mute.
She goes, it was a terrible shame that poor Mr. Bowman wasn't found for like 3 days. A real pity. Is there anything I can help you with?
No, ma'am. We're all set here. Should be just call it another half hour before we'll be on our way out. We're almost finished.
All right. Roll me a charisma × 5.
Success.
She goes, all right, well, the offer's still open for the tea or coffee when you're done. I would just remember to lock the deadbolt on your way out. Clyde's keys are hanging next to the front door.
Well, yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, ma'am. We will make sure that we do exactly that.
And she turns around and walks out and shuts the door behind her.
Excellent. All right, I am going to, first things first, I'm going to go and grab those keys from next to the door.
Good call.
Give me 1 second here.
Do any of the keys say cabin on them? No, I'm just kidding.
So McNulty walks up to the front door and sees this key ring that has 3 keys attached to it. One looks identical to the apartment key that Agent Murphy gave you. Another is a very small key, and the third key has a rubber sleeve on it, and it's marked cottage. Roll me a something. Roll me an intelligence × 5.
Success.
It's on fire.
That small key, you're pretty sure it's like a padlock key.
Okay. I am going to first lock the door so there's no more intrusions, and then head back to the office and let them know, hey, I was able to smooth it over. It was the neighbor, but we are working with a time constraint now. We've only got about another half hour before we really have to get out of here, and she starts getting more nosy, and I got the keys.
Good stuff. That's going to be helpful. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else really around here that I'm seeing. So I'm actually kind of interested in go checking out the cottage. I don't know about you guys. Is there any other loose ends we want to follow up here?
I would just make sure that we don't have any sensitive material as far as the program's concerned in anything that he's got in here.
Yeah, I didn't find anything on my whole search, Baker says, and he would make sure as well to all the drawers he was taking out and all that kind of stuff, return the place to like a normal state of living, put the couch cushions back on and all that kind of stuff, so it doesn't look like it's been tossed.
All right, when you're in the bedroom putting the drawers back and stuff, roll me an alertness.
A success, 4153.
So as you're putting the drawers back in, you notice on the dresser this photo, and it looks like a younger Clyde Bowman and his wife, possibly before they were even married. And you notice that on the photo, her eyes are scratched out. Other than that, you guys feel like you've searched the house the apartment as best as you can.
Baker would share that photo, bring that photo back out and just be like, this is the creepiest thing I've found so far. I'm just going to take this one with us.
So we're all in agreement something is definitely going on with the wife. All the photos of her are taken down. Something's going on there.
100%. Yeah, I think the photos on the ground are a big evidence of that. Smiley does do a double check real quick. Do any of the photos with the cabin have any of the kids, any of the other relatives at the cabin, or is it only him and his wife?
No, it's there's some family ones.
Okay,
Probably when the kids were like younger, because you can tell by some of the photos that there's like younger and older and even older pictures of his kids, because he's obviously one or two of the photos obviously is like a granddaughter, and it looks like his son's probably married and things like that.
Yep. Okay. So Smiley says, Baker, I think you're definitely onto something about the wife. Only last thing I can think of before we leave is, McNulty, you've got some rapport with the neighbor there. Maybe you can, on your way out, say, hey, we're wrapping up. Just out of curiosity, was interested in hearing about, how his wife passed away and see if you can get any info, but I don't know if that's prying too much.
I would think that the lower profile we present, the better off we're going to be. If she just saw us as three nondescript dudes who said, hey, we were here with the probate attorney, cataloging the stuff, then she doesn't know any names, she doesn't know anything. We'll probably be in far better shape than if we go asking a bunch of additional questions.
Perfect. I'm good with that.
Okay. Are we satisfied here?
I didn't find anything other than this photo. So I'm good to head out, Baker says.
All right. Fair enough. I'm going to make sure those keys are pocketed, and we're going to make our exit and make sure that the door is dead bolted behind us when we leave.
Sounds good. So as you guys are leaving the apartment, you're kind of discussing that, you would know by now, Traverse City's about 4 hours away. It's like 5 o'clock. If you left now, you wouldn't get up there till around 9, depending on if you stopped or anything like that. So is that what you do? Do you get in the...
I would say let's get back into the car and pull out of the parking lot, and we will pull in on Main Street right in front of Gus's and come up with a battle plan here.
Sounds good. So on Main Street, there's toll parking like right along the street. So you pull your Inca up into a parking spot, put some change in the toll, head into the restaurant. The waitress seats you. What do you guys do? Waitress is like, hey, what can I get you?
Honey and fries, please.
I'll take a bacon omelet.
Just black coffee for me, Baker says, and keep it coming.
Sounds good. Coming right up. So she goes off to the back. What are you guys talking about?
So if we're going to make the trip up to Traverse, I think we should probably find a better vehicle, because I don't think this rolling shit box is going to make it all the way up 75 without blowing up.
I'm open to that. Anybody got any ideas or extra cars around that they're aware of? Maybe a rental?
Well, there's always extra cars around, Baker says, but yeah, maybe a rental's the right way to go here.
So just north of here, there's a neighborhood that is a little bit on the nicer side. I'm wondering if we can't prowl around there for a minute and see if there's something worthwhile to pinch.
Smiley kind of looks at McNulty a bit surprised and says, Whoa, McNulty, I thought you were on the side of law here. This is a bit shocked.
We got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, but sometimes we can do it in a way that doesn't necessarily break the law either. I guess if you guys are okay with it, it's just not... this is my first time really being part of this sort of thing.
Whenever Baker's got a 40 skill in drive. Was the vehicle making any knocks or whirs or concerning sounds whenever he was operating the vehicle? Did it start right up and was operational?
Your drive skill wouldn't really tell you that. You would need like a craft mechanics, like automotive for something like that. I would say, since you've been so you've already boosted a couple cars in since the agents have known you. You can give yourself a 20 in craft mechanics automobile, and you can roll that. Do you know how to add that to your sheet? Waitress comes up, serves your food, and as you're sitting there eating, you guys have a window seat, and an orange late 20 teens Dodge Challenger pulls up and into the parking lot, and A big guy with glasses gets out of the driver's side on the passenger side. A woman in her mid-50s. They look like they're kind of bickering at each other as they walk in to Gus's diner, and they sit down and right behind you guys. And sorry, I'm trying to make this up off the top of my head from what I can remember about Bob's parents.
The woman is very, very tall, and all you hear is this loud kind of nasally, "What the fuck are you talking about?" as they sit down and order their food.
Yeah, so they sit down right behind you and they're bickering back and forth. But the bickering is like, it's not like they hate each other or anything. It's very like loving, and you can just tell they've been together for a long time. So you guys are eating.
Baker would just say, I'll give our hoopty a good once-over whenever we're done here, and like check the fluids and everything like that using that crafts mechanic skill, I guess, just to make my assessment if he thinks he could make it 4 hours, an honest assessment. And, we've got the option to procure another vehicle if, or commandeer one if necessary, but I'm kind of with Smiley, unless it's a necessity, hate to make a larger footprint than we need to at any point in time, as well as anything that's too conspicuous.
Listen, that Challenger is really nice.
Yeah, that's the kind of car a cop likes to pull over, though. Bright orange, trust me, from my experience in my early teens, I got into picking up some of the more flashy, bright yellow, red, and orange vehicles, and you wouldn't believe that they're, how much more you're likely to get stopped by a state trooper.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to deal with the Michigan Staties.
Roll me
Failure. 47/20.
Yeah. You go out there and you're checking the Inca, and you're like, yeah, this thing will make it, no problem. As you're doing that, the woman sitting behind you is like, man, they need to turn the heat down in here. She gets up, she takes her jacket off, and she hangs it on the jacket post right next to your booth. That's it.
And I'm sorry, what time is it now?
It's probably like 5:30.
Is there a hospital near us anywhere? Can I check that map for that?
There is. There's a hospital about 2 miles away, 2 miles south.
Then Baker would, even though it's a sweet ride and it seems like a great opportunity, he's definitely, even without an alertness checks, he's confident he could get that Challenger and be on the road. Baker recommends that the team load back in the hoopty whenever we're done and swing by the hospital, just based off of, I'm a former hospital employee, and those are notorious for having cars stolen because they're 12-hour shifts for employees.
Yep.
They're also right near freeways a lot of the time.
Yes,
okay.
Both of those things. Yeah, that sounds fine.
So you guys wrap up your meal and head out. You guys leave a tip?
Smiley's a heavy tipper. He leaves 25%.
So,
Making somebody's day.
McNulty doesn't believe in tipping.
Somehow that's fitting.
But he does say to the couple as they're leaving, that's a really nice ride.
the guy's like, just on the outside, the inside's a real piece of shit. So you leave your tip and you guys head out of the restaurant, and as you get into the Inca and pull off, what you don't see is the old couple getting out of their booth, getting ready to go home, and the old guy swiping your guys' tip off the table.
Come on,
son of a gun. We should have stole the car.
Yeah, that goes out to Bob's dad if he's ever listens.
He would never. He would never. And
So,
he
yeah,
is
you guys
listening. We got him to listen.
He heads. You guys get in the Inca, head down Cass to Groesbeck down to McLaren Hospital. What do you guys do?
Baker would take the car and park it way out on the outskirts, back where the employee parking is. And as he's doing so, kind of driving around looking for, one that he knows he has experience boosting, or like, kind of the equivalent of the Kias or whatever these days, the ones that are pretty much effortless if you know how to get into them, as well as looking for cameras and if they have any kind of, if it's a nice enough facility that can afford like a roving patrol or anything like that.
You
I don't know
notice
if that would
once
just be a criminology role or, okay.
No, I'm gonna say You just
Real-
notice security guard kind of trolling around the parking lot, the parking garage. Roll me a luck roll.
Failure, 95 or 50.
You're not seeing any Kias that you're looking for. I might have missed some of the stuff you were talking about, but just how about you just tell me how that luck roll pans out for you?
I guess he would say that he doesn't see anything, that's like a super easy, one of his like easy marks for a car necessarily. Nothing that stands out that's like, hidden away, or at least if there are any, that they're not directly like, tucked back in the recesses of the parking garage where there's, low lighting or anything like that. So, or maybe there is one that's good, but, it's not too far from the hospital, so it's a little more high risk or something like that. I don't know. And he would ask the team, it's like, hey, they got a security guard. If y'all could just play lookout for me, or if it looks like he's heading our way, just run distraction for me for just a minute and I'll come scoop you up. It won't take me long once I'm on site with one of these vehicles.
Smiley kind of chimes in and says, well, this is my first time doing this, so correct me if I'm wrong, but do we want to leave the vehicle here at the scene? Because eventually, do we want to come back and get it? Or should I meet you guys somewhere else after you do it? What's the best strategy for the car we have?
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we try and make it up 75 as far as we can, and if we start having issues, we can pull off into one of the rest areas, because those usually they're usually full of cars, and if it's later in the evening, there aren't going to be any state troopers there, and then we can reassess.
Sounds good. And then Baker says, I think she can make it anyways. And he taps his hand on the wheel again based off that failed mechanics check from earlier. And as he does so, like, the cup holder falls off of the...
All right, so...
Amazing callback.
So you guys just decided to take the Inca up 75. You get to about Birch Run. No. Roll me a luck roll, Baker, because you're driving.
You guessed it. Failure, 62 over 50.
You're approaching the exit to Birch Run, and the car starts sputtering a little bit. So what do you do? So Birch Run, if you don't know, is like a big shopping outlet. We're gonna say it's probably about 7 o'clock at night. Yeah, just to let you know, there's a truck stop there, shopping plaza,
Tony's.
Yeah. So you're on the expressway. Your car starts sputtering. The exit is about a half mile up the road. What do you do?
All right. Feeling like a jackass because he just said the vehicle would make it. His pride's a little hurt. His ego's on the line. So he's going to pull into the truck stop and say, hey, just a second, guys. I want to make sure. Sounds like we got a loose fan belt or something. I want to make sure it's tightened up. And he's going to make an attempt to do a crafts mechanics check to see if he can fix the issue, if he can assess using whatever's available at the truck stop. Again, paying cash for it if he needs to purchase anything.
All right. Roll me your mechanics.
With a 2 and a success.
Yeah!
I'm going to say the fan belt had a fray in it. Started to get a fray in it. I don't know much about cars, but... And the truck stop is actually a restaurant, but next door is a gas station that has a mechanics bay in it. So if you were looking for a replacement fan belt, that'd be the place to go.
Okay. Sweet. He would try to install one. Those are pretty standard, and try to purchase one pretty cheap item, get one and pay cash for it, and slam the hood down, assuming he's able to successfully complete it with that roll, and say, hey, it looks like I think I solved the problem, guys. We're good to go. Success shines down upon us, he says with a sly grin.
Roll me another craft mechanics.
7 success.
There it is.
It's like a brand new car.
So
Purring like a kitten. He's wiping grease off his hands.
Suddenly the tape decks start working.
So it's about 8 o'clock now. You got about another
3.5.
3.5. We'll say 3. 3-hour drive. That'll bring you... Getting on the road from here, it'll bring you to the cabin at about 10 o'clock. And we're going to say it's like you made good time. It's like 9:45 p.m. and you start pulling down this gravel road. It's starting to rain a little bit. The sun's down. And it's super dark. There's no lights. But eventually you come to the end of this gravel road and your headlights reveal this old cabin that it looks like it's been here forever. And I think we'll leave it at that till next time. That's a good place to end it.
That is a good place.
All right.
Just so it's known, Smiley on the way continued to stroke Baker's ego, talking about how he's such a car junkie and he's so talented with fixing cars.
Well, I try.
All right, so yeah, that's the end of season 2, episode 1. Become a member on Patreon. You can get your episodes a week early and some other fun stuff it'll let you in on. And always remember to keep your sanity in check. Talk to you guys later.